How can you fall in love with your business again or your career if you don't have your own business? What I noticed is that if you're a business owner or an entrepreneur, you probably began filled with motivation, energy, joy, passion, go, go, go. No one could stop you. And at some point, it stops. At some point, there's a stuck, there's a halt, something happens. And this can either be a lack of profit, maybe that's preoccupying you, or the task you're not enjoying as much, or maybe you're working around the clock and suddenly you feel like that's not what you want to do anymore. At one point, you sort of fall out of love, or you're in a conflict phase with your business. And this has happened to me. I have lived it, so I know what I'm talking about. And I would like to share with you what I feel really can help you to fall in love with your business all over again. And this is the same for your career. Brief note, if you're in a career that you never chose in the first place and you never enjoyed, then it's a matter of maybe looking at what can you shift in your career to do something you like and enjoy more, or maybe just doing a radically different career. Now, this would be a podcast episode for another day because today I'm focusing on if you have your own business, how you can fall in love again with it. But if you want to change career, know that loads of people do it, even way late in life. I changed from being an engineer to being a coach. So it's definitely possible. Again, episode for another day. So coming back to how can you fall in love with your business again? 3 key aspects I would love to share with you today. Number 1 is flow. Why does flow matter? We feel more joyful, more happy, more productive, more prolific when we are in flow. This is something that really alleviates us. It helps us to feel this joy and peace. What can you do to be more in flow? Flow comes when there's that perfect balance of challenge and skill. So you want it to be hard enough that you need to use your brain, but not so hard that it feels overwhelming and scary. When you're able to hit that flow point, the whole day will go by like this, and you will enjoy your work again. You will fall in love with your business again. This is already one way, one really simple way is to look at how you can have more flow. A few things that can prevent you from being in flow is constantly being disrupted and interrupted. So this is where notifications out of the window and single tasking are super important. And also looking at the different tasks and thinking, okay, in your business, which tasks do you feel most in flow? Is it reporting tasks? Is it the content creation side? Is it speaking gigs? Is it the meeting with your clients? And start to have as many of those flow tasks as possible and as little of the other tasks as possible. Delegate, simplify, just get rid of them. This is directly correlated with the second aspect, which is the zone of genius. The zone of genius is when you're, how can I put this in the best terms possible? When the work that you do, you're both super passionate about it and you're really good at this. I did an interview with Danielle on the zone of genius that I'll put in the show notes, and she illustrates it beautifully. What you want to do is to find that one or those 2 activities that you really thrive in, the things that really give you a boost, a joy, you feel so energized, you love it. As you could tell, for me, podcasting is one of them. Speaking in general with people or even on my own are things that provide me with tremendous joy and flow, and zone of genius is exactly that. It's something you're passionate about. Generally, you're quite good at it, and it'll help you to have that flow that I mentioned in the first part. So do an audit. Write down all the different activities you have in your business. Write down flow on a scale from 1 to 10. How likely is it that you'll be in flow? And so, maybe look at 1 or 2 or 3 that you feel are your zone of genius. The last tool is to approach everything from a beginner's mind. Most of the time, if we've been doing something for a bit, we end up in autopilot. We get bored with it, we get bored with the process, it feels repetitive. If you're anything like me and you love variety, then you've probably felt this quite a few times. And when this happens, we not only get discouraged, but we lose interest. On the other hand, having a beginner's mind, a beginner's mindset approach to how we start each and every day, to the activities that we're doing, makes it feel fun and enjoyable again. We get dopamine because things are new. Either if there's a risk or a novelty, something like that, or learning, these things trigger dopamine in us and excite us. So it's not a surprise that when we've done something over and over again, it feels boring, we lose interest, and then probably we're not in flow either. To approach your day with a beginner's mind or different tasks, just mean think about it like, if this was the first time I was doing this, how would it feel? How would I look at this? How would I show up? We tend to be more excited when it's the first time, or first couple of times at least for me. So this is the third tool, really trying to approach things with the beginner's mind, think about it again, seeing things with novelty, with the new perspective, a fresh perspective, can add some excitement and some novelty if you're feeling that you've lost the interest. And maybe a last tool, I know I said there'd be 3, but I've just thought of another one, is reflect on your progress. Look at how far you've come. Look at how much you've learned. If you're not in love anymore with your business, think about who has helped you to become. All the things you've learned along the way. And maybe just that realization will be enough to trigger the spark again. So as a summary of today's episode, number 1, look at what you can do to be more in flow. Number 2, work in your zone of genius. Find the activities in which you really thrive and you're excellent at. Number 3, approach everything with a beginner's mindset. And number 4, look how far you've come. Look how great you're doing. Hopefully all of this will help you to fall in love again with your business and to help you to have that motivation and that inspiration to go and conquer the world again and do amazing things like you had when you first began your business. I hope you've enjoyed today's episode. I hope that this has been useful for you and inspiring and motivating. Please let me know in a comment on YouTube or on Spotify or on Apple Review what has been most useful for you, and share the word, share the episode with anyone that you think could benefit from it. Thank you so much for tuning in today and wishing you a great day.